Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Say hi, Zach.
Hello.
Say hi, Bobby. That's a Bob. Oh, he actually said hi. Okay, so today's my birthday and we have decided to do what every young woman likes to do on her birthday. We are going to a serial killer's house. Yeah, no, seriously, we're going to a serial killer's house. So with the popularity of shockingly wicked, evil, and vile going just viral right now, we just so happen to live in Utah, and we live pretty close to where Ted Bundy used to stay while he was here. So if you don't know who Ted Bundy is, then you got issues, because he is arguably probably one of the most famous serial killers of all time. His violent acts occurred mostly between 1974 and 1978, and they say that he has approximately 30 victims, although they estimate that it's actually much higher than that. He confessed to most of those murders shortly before he was executed, so we'll never really know. He had two homes in Utah, or he lived in two different places in Utah. One was in an area of Salt Lake City called the Avenues, and then another was in up one of the canyons. He had a house there with a really creepy cellar, and so we're gonna go investigate the house. Now, we have been there before, but I just thought, again, with kind of like the resurgence of his popularity, that it would be kind of a cool video to show you where Ted Bundy used to live. So a little more background information about him. A lot of people say he was one of the most charismatic and handsome serial killers. If you have actually been able to see the new movie about him, Zac Efron stars in it, and he's just extremely charismatic and manipulative, and he was really great at impersonating figures of authority as well. That's how he would oftentimes get women to trust him and get in his car or go home with him, etc. So most of the time when he was in Salt Lake City, when the murders would occur, again, he would pretend to be a police figure, or he didn't even have to pretend to be anything sometimes. Again, for his time and to most people, he was a very handsome young guy, and he was actually in law school while he was here in Utah. He studied at the University of Utah, so he had access to lots of females, obviously, on campus, and could just charm the pants off of anyone, I guess. Most of his murders were extremely gruesome. He would bludgeon a lot of people, strangle with pantyhose. He had an affinity for dead bodies, let's just say. So he would rape the corpses, and then just really morbid, gruesome stuff. It's also said that he would decapitate some of them, and he actually kept some of the heads. He would keep photographs of all of the women he killed. Just a really weird, creepy dude. Oh, one of the most famous stories about him too, if you guys don't know, he tried to, well, he didn't try, he did. He kidnapped a woman, handcuffed her, but she was able to get out, and that happened here in Utah. And it's basically because of her and her story that he ultimately ended up getting caught and captured. So that's kind of a good twist of fate there. But yeah, so that's just a little bit of background on him. Oh, another fun fact, he was able to escape prison not once but twice. First time he jumped out a window, and then the second time he crawled out through a vent, kind of Shawshank Redemption style, except a little less shitty. Okay, anyways, well, that's a little bit of background. If you're interested in knowing more, I will post some links below. If you haven't watched the new film on him yet, and that kind of stuff doesn't gross you out, or you know, I don't know, if you have any interest in true crime, I think that you'd probably appreciate the movie. So next time I see you, we will be at Ted Bundy's house. Bye. Okay, we just parked. Hang on, I'm gonna put my muffler on, I think. Okay, so fun facts. If you're in the Salt Lake County area, we're up Immigration Canyon. I don't even think we're a mile up. And what you're gonna wanna stop and see, I'll come back to this because I wanna talk about that too. You're gonna wanna park on the right-hand side of the road, or the south side of the road. You'll see two signs. So as soon as you see this archery hunting area sign, as well as the fire sign, you'll know you're in the right spot. But fun fact, this canyon connected to the trail that the Donner family took. Sorry, I'll say that again in case you couldn't hear me. this canyon connected to the same trail that the Donner family took. And if you don't know much about them, which I don't, but I guess the one thing that everybody does know is when it got really cold and crappy in the winter and their food supply ran out, they turned cannibalistic, and so the family started eating each other. So there's two creepy things about this canyon, which is kind of cool, I guess. So, yep, you're gonna wanna park back there. You can see our truck back there, and then you're gonna wanna walk back west until you get to this little paved road right here. And now there is a gate, but that's just so there's no through traffic. It's not off limits, it's not illegal to go through here, there's no trespassing or anything like that. The water is moving really fast because we've had a super wet winter. You're gonna want to follow this path along. So something else, as we were on our way over here, we did a little bit more research, and it turns out Ted Bundy we don't think Ted Bundy lived in this house. This is just where he would commit crime and then dump some of the bodies. So this stop is actually part of the paranormal tour, the Salt Lake Grim Ghost Tour. And they stop and they take you back here. And the legend or story has it is that there used to be a house standing here. This is where he would commit some of the crimes. Over the years, the house has been torn down. There is a little bit of rubble, which we'll show you guys. But all that's left is the creepy cellar where apparently the dead bodies were found, as well as some of the rubble, but the cellar itself, the whole cellar is still standing. So we're coming up. Okay, so when you get to this little fork in the road, if you turn left, you can see the top of the cellar here. And this is a really popular spot for people to just come party and kind of do drugs or occult activity. So this whole area is kind of subject to black magic and bad vibes and paranormal activity. Whew, it's a little bit ways up. So this is where the home used to be. And so he would bring his victims in here, rape, murder, dismember them. And you can see there's actually quite a bit of the wood left over from the house. Some of it looks burned, so I don't know if it's burned down, or at least that side of it. You can see what looks like it used to be a window right there. Some piping in the back over there. I don't want to walk too far in because there's a ton of rusty nails sticking up. Let's go over there. It looks like something, or is that just a random tire? Here's part of this fence, or whoever's house it was. I guess it was an abandoned house that he would come up to. It is pretty kind of off the beaten path. I mean, unless you know this is here. That gate didn't used to be there 30 years ago. So more rubble. Looks like part of the foundation or a shed that maybe used to be here. And you can see, I mean, we are surrounded by mountains on all sides. So it's pretty secluded. Now we'll take you guys to the cellar where all the really terrible stuff happened. And this isn't necessarily meant to be a spooky tour. I kind of just wanted to show you guys where part of his past took place, I guess. He also has another house that he actually lived in for the year that he lived, or that he went to school here. He lived up in the avenues. And if you guys want, I'll do a part 2 sometime and go do a tour of that house as well. That one's still standing, and actually there's still tenants in there, so I don't think I'd be able to go inside unless they open it up to tour this year, due to the viral nature of his story right now. So just a little ways down here. Is this the way we get to it? I think we go around, don't we? You can see a ton of spray paint. There's just a lot of vandalism over the years. So I thought we went that way to get to it. Okay, Zach thinks we go this way. So I believe the home itself burned down, or at least part of it burned down, and they left it. And then the other part just got demolished over the years. But again, the cellar, last time we were here, was totally intact still. There was a lot of spray paint, but I'm gonna try to find the photo because I'm pretty sure I took a picture of Zach in there, and there's a ton of orbs in that photo. Right? Wasn't there? If I remember right? Oh, look, they're trying to keep people out now. Yeah, this used to be, look, they had boarded it up at one time.
You wanna go down there? Do you want me to take the camera?
So this is the cellar where he would deposit his victims' bodies. They say a lot of terrible stuff goes on in here. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about going in there. Would you go in there? Yeah. I'm gonna send Zach in, but just another peek. I don't know what that is for, but it somehow connects to the cellar.
Probably that.
So, all right, we're gonna send Zach in. Good luck. You can flip it around if you would. Yeah, okay. Flip the screen over. That kind of scared me. So what is that big tube?
It's probably just a vent. This is like looks like an old water storage tank.
Do you see any like occult stuff written on the floor or the walls or anything? Like blood or anything really creepy?
No, nothing too creepy.
Do you feel any weird vibes while you're there? Do you feel heavy or
Gang, gang.
Whoa.
Shout out to Jess Wham.
I thought I saw smoke, but Bob's breath is so hot and it's kind of chilly. There was smoke that creeped me out. So people have reported feeling like oppressive women's spirits here, like whispering, like pulling their hair. They felt like tiny pushes down these stairs. What are you seeing?
Oh, just like the tube, it goes down. There's no way to get down there, I guess, unless you went up through the tube.
Seems like every inch of this thing is spray painted.
Yeah.
Thanks for going in there so I didn't have to get haunted.
That's okay.
Only I would want to go to a serial killer's house on my birthday. Thank you for going in there. So there you have it. I probably want to come back here again sometime at night and just try to see if I feel anything or pick up on anything. My mom is extremely intuitive, and sometime I'll tell the stories, but my mom has like seen a portal, and she's felt and seen and heard strange things all her life, so I wouldn't be surprised if I kind of can take on some of that talent, I guess. So yeah, again, kind of anticlimactic, I know, but just thought you guys might want to see where Ted Bundy spent some of his time. If you guys aren't aware, ooh, I'm sorry, I almost flipped that. If you guys aren't aware, he was charged with multiple murders, and he was executed via electric chair in 1989. And before he was sentenced to execution, he had a friend slash admirer that was kind of helping him through his trial. In the middle of the trial, she joined in and then kind of helped with his press releases and PR and all that. Ended up falling in love with him, and they got married, and he actually fathered a child while he was in prison. And as far as I know, his daughter's still alive to this day. So kind of weird. All right, there you have it. One of Ted Bundy's houses. one of Ted Bundy's homes slash areas of great despair. I will link, I'll try to, you know what we should do? Will you drop a pin so I can share the location if anybody wants to come see here? We'll drop a pin and I'll share that below. And I think that's it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If you want to see a part 2, if you want me to go up and do a tour of his Avenues house, I'm happy to go try to do that. Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.